I got it.
Thank you.
It's done.
Good.
All right, so my cup runneth over today. One, because I am doing co-hosting duty with the lovely, the amazing, I don't know where he will be when this actually posts. Co-host, my gal pal from season 4, Steve Hutchison is with us today, so I'm absolutely excited for that. I know fanfare, the crowd goes wild, and we have the honor, we have the privilege, we have the heartbreak of the season today. We are joined by the illustrious, the fabulous, the potentially best singer in the cast. We are joined by Sam, who just went out last night in a 4-2 vote, much to my chagrin and devastation. Sam, how you feeling today?
I feel relaxed. It's.
I was legit more upset about your elimination than you were, like tenfold.
I feel really. Yeah. I feel Yeah. Really just relaxed. I hadn't realized just how much energy I was putting into this game until the game stopped, and now I'm like, oh, I've got time to talk to my real friends who are not in this. Oh, I can do things like play on video games and do things when I'm not on call with Courtney for 3 hours, or as much as I love being on call with Courtney for hours, it's nice to not have to think, not have to worry about having to call people just to keep up the social side of things as well. So yeah, no, I feel good. I wasn't expecting to win. I wasn't. I was expecting to go a little bit further, but it was a bit of a shock to get blindsided at this point. But I was also I had a feeling something was going on. I'm generally fairly good at reading people. I knew something was going on when Ed got voted out, and similarly, I felt strongly that something was going on. I didn't think I was going. I thought Brian was going, but I thought something was going to go awry last round, and then it turned out I was right, and I went home, and here I am. They've put me in this lovely hotel. Thank you, Triumph.
I was
Um,
gonna say, you
Only
know,
the best.
I was gonna say we got a couple of cardboard boxes for some of the earlier boots. So yeah, the longer you last, the nicer we treat you. You're also a juror, so.
third place, I
Final
get a
Three's got a
penthouse.
penthouse.
So Sam, walk us through it. What do you think happened? You were part of a very, very strong and dominant alliance for quite a while. You also, I think you went to tribal council, I think once before the merge, if I'm not wrong.
And that was a Jester vote, so that didn't count. Um, it was Jester. Um, but yeah, I don't quite know. I think it was a stupid move on Brian's part because they're going to take Brian out. Um, from what I'm hearing, Courtney and Justin have got a funnel to everyone, and I'm guessing they felt that they needed me to go because maybe they felt that they couldn't beat me. I don't know. I don't really know what happened. The way I think the votes went down anyway. I think everyone voted for me, but apart from Courtney, who knew about it. But I think Courtney just didn't vote for me. Um, because she couldn't bring herself to. That's my take on it. I could be completely wrong. Could have been Esteban that didn't vote for me because he told me he wasn't going to. Um, but I don't see it being anyone else that didn't vote for me. But we'll see. We'll see at the end how the vote shook up. But yeah, I was a little bit surprised that it was me. But when was it? As soon as the third vote for me came, I was like, well, I'm gone. So I unmuted myself. I was like, okay, time to start speaking now. Because I sort of guessed that. I was like, if one of them flipped, they've all flipped. It's fine.
Well, I will say, I was going to save it towards the end, but I will say your exit was so gracious and so classy, and it just showed a complete understanding for what we're all here doing. And it was I love for someone going out like setting the room on fire and all that stuff because it's fun to watch. But watching you go out with such class, I was like, there's my Sam. So I
Yay.
lived.
It's a game. Once you're out.
Sorry.
It's a game. Once you're out, you're out. There's no point being bitter about it. You just once you're out, your time's done. They've got you.
Well,
You want to. Yeah.
Well, we all know that plenty of players figure out a way to go out, and be bitter. So I've been guilty of it more than once. Steve, I feel like I'm hogging the mic. Do you have any questions before I just completely just read all the ones I have?
No, go for it. I'm just here to tag along.
Okay. So Sam, you had a very unsuspected and very interesting start to this game. On the tribe that you're starting on, we call it the anus tribe because we're immature. That being said, I don't know if I've ever seen so much turmoil on a tribe that never went to tribal council.
I've never experienced such turmoil in any game ever. Considering I've been looking forward to this game for like a year and a half, hoping I was going to get to play, and then considering I was that close to leaving the game within 3 days, was because of how intense it got. Was a lot.
Now, for context, for people who have no idea what I'm talking about, Sam started on a tribe with another player, like the deity that walks amongst us, Divi, and Divi and Sam had a little bit of a challenge, getting on the same page communication-wise. And let's have a look at some of the clips. I'm kidding. I was gonna say, let's take a look. We don't have a budget, but I really would
just replay that. Just replay that bit from the music video when we're going at each other.
Oh my goodness. It was so fascinating because I was like, Sam gets along with absolutely everybody. Sam has been on production forever since season 2. What is happening? So however briefly, because I don't want to have it be like a negative tone for the interview, but as concisely as you possibly can, what was that whole thing about?
It was a very difficult situation. Really, really like Divi as a person. Think they've got such an amazing energy, and just so much fun. But they are very much my way or the highway type of person, which I struggle to get along with. Because I feel if you're as part of a team, you need to think with a team mentality and think, let's think what's best for the entire group rather than what's best for me, and that infuriated me slightly. And then every time I tried to think of a solution, it got shot down in an interesting way, and then it culminated with me being sworn at and called called a lovely name, and then them leaving the chat, and we didn't really touch base really after that. It wasn't a comfortable situation at all. There was 3 separate instances where things got really heated.
It definitely seems like it, but yeah, for what it is worth, despite all of the conflict and despite all the times that you two did not see eye to eye, y'all put together arguably the best music video in Triumph history. And the only reason why I don't say the best is because I never saw the ones from season 1, I don't think, or they might not have done one season 1. I feel like there's at least one music video I have still yet to see. Y'all crushed that challenge, and I was like, even though they did not necessarily get along, they sure as hell did the damn thing, and that was phenomenal.
Obviously, animosity means I can create great music videos.
I still think that towards the end when you and Divi have like you're going face to face in the music video, I was like, this is not a coincidence. I'm here for it. I only brought it up because I truly felt like y'all's conflict, if there was a top 5 moments of the season, that is easily top 5 for me, and it happened week 1. So that's the only reason I brought it up.
Round 1, but no, I very nearly didn't even do a video at all. I was like, let's just lose, because everyone was telling me, okay, Div will go home if we lose, so it's fine. And then I was like, I felt, especially with you guys, you want a music video to show, and then I didn't want to let people down, so I was like, okay, we'll do it. So I spent the 7 hours it took to do it, and really, really proud of it. It came out really well. Everyone gave us some great stuff. It just came together. I learned how to edit quite well. Now I'm semi-pro. Call me Dave.
Dave from Azerbaijan. Who? I'm kidding.
But it was great, and everyone came together and created a really, really good piece of work, that's definitely one of the highlights. It was a shitty couple of days, but to come out on top and to get through it was brilliant. And then we tried, and we forced a sort of relationship the rest of the game, and I'm sure we'll talk at some point and iron things out potentially, but I hate having bad feeling with anyone. It makes me feel sad, but yeah, so but it was all good. And then we swapped, and I spent the rest of the game terrified that Divi had an idol and that Divi was going to idol me out. I spent the entire game literally having nightmares. I was like, that's the one I didn't want to go out. And then
So put it to bed because you were fairly convinced for quite a while Divi had an idol. Do they have an idol? Or did they have an idol?
No, they didn't.
The number
Last night,
during the whole season where I would see you say to someone or put in your prod chat, they have an idol, they have an idol. I was just sitting there going, I'm not allowed to comment, but this is really entertaining. So anyway.
I was convinced. But the thing is, Quinn and I made a final two when I was really drunk one night. So I thought Quinn would have told me. So and then I knew Edmo didn't because I saw he hadn't finished his thing. I knew Brian hadn't because Brian had read me the thing. Same as Peyton had read me the thing. Like, it has to have been Divi, no one else. I thought Quinn's not going to lie to me.
I mean, did you ever consider asking Divi? I'm kidding. Sam's sitting here like this bitch. So, okay. So getting back to, I'm trying to remember. So the Anau tribe never went to tribal council, and other than one round, you were always there. So going into yesterday, how convinced or worried were you that you were potentially getting the boot?
I knew, as I said, I knew something was up. I knew it was going to be. I knew it was going to be either Brian or I. Jordan was too comfortable. Jordan was, and the way that certain people, the length of time it took certain people to get on call with me. We like I arranged a call with. I had a final three chat with Courtney and Justin, and we arranged a call at like on the hour, and then we didn't get on call till like 2 minutes before tribal. With no explanation, so I was like, something's going on. Something's not gonna go as expected, but I don't think it's me. So I didn't think Courtney would let me go. At this stage, then I was wrong. But
and how does it feel?
Fine. I'm a little bit upset just because she knows how we had a immunity challenge and I was so close to winning, and she knows how much all season I wanted to win at least one immunity challenge. And she knows how much I wanted to get to my placement of 5th again. So I'm a bit sad that, but bear in mind we are very, very good friends, that she couldn't at least let me get to 5th. I would have done that for her in a heartbeat. I would have got Brian out if because I suppose it was going to be either or one of us. So I was a bit sad that I wasn't given that shot. But yeah, it's a game, and you have to separate the emotions and stuff from a game when you play these sort of things. Otherwise it just depresses you and gets you down and ruins friendships when there's no need.
Agreed. So that actually brings up a very interesting point, and I feel like you kind of answered it. I was wondering before we got on call, is it better to go out at 6th, or would it have been better to go out in the exact same placement you got in your original season?
I would have preferred to have gone out as late as possible. So yeah, I'd have preferred to go out at least 5th, because then I can say at least I didn't do worse. But saying that, in an All-Stars game, I've played 3 of these before. I've never made merge in an All-Stars game, so
Congratulations.
I was really happy with getting as far as I did in a game with such intense, brilliant players. And I thought, especially with the prod stigma sticking around and people knowing how I knew lots of people, I figured that people would take a chance to get me out sooner. And fortunately, a big help was not going to tribal much before merge, and then getting to merge, having people that I was already quite comfortable with because I'd been in a tribe with for a long time. So that definitely helps. But yeah, no, it was definitely an intense game for sure.
Yeah. I was sitting there going, well, Sam is beloved by pretty much everyone who played in a season that he was on the prod team for. So I was like, that's potentially going to put a target on him. So yeah, not to rehash the topic, but yeah, when you started going at it with Divi in the first week, I was like, no. I swear, if this is his demise, both of us will never forget this. It'll just be the worst thing.
No, you wouldn't have let me live it down.
But it's fine because it all worked out.
In my first confessional, I even said I was expecting to be first merge boot. I was expecting everyone to jump on me and be like, okay, he's close with lots of people. He's got this, that, and the other. He needs to go. And then luckily that wasn't the case, which is nice. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm proud of how far I got. I'm really, really am, especially with how strong the players were.
You should definitely be proud of how far you got. So since we don't get to watch you in action make your way and juggernaut your way to the final tribal council, what would that journey have looked like for you if you had been able to call the shots to get towards the end? Who would you have gone with? Obviously, Jordan would have gone out this round instead of you. What would the elimination order have looked like?
It would have been Jordan, Esteban, Brian, then probably Courtney. As hard as that would have been.
Stick
So
with Justin at the
I would have taken Justin at the end. I felt I had the best shot against Justin. But I thought if Jordan got to the end, it would either be everyone really would dig his underdog story, and the fact he had to fight and fight and fight, and he made it to the end without winning immunities, which I thought, for me, that's a good story. I knew that if Esteban gets to the end, everyone loves Esteban. I knew that if Brian gets to the end, I think Brian's played the best game. I think if Brian gets to the end, nobody beats Brian. Brian's played a really, really good game from somebody who's played with him and from somebody who's watched him play.
Oh, gee. Someone thinking that Brian gets to the end and wins the game. I wonder where I've heard that before. No idea. Sorry.
I should create the Final Four immunity challenge again so that Brian can drop in 2 seconds again. I bet that's why Brian got me out. He's like, getting back.
Sam's going to be too big of a threat to win a balancing challenge.
Believe me, I wouldn't have been. Anyway, and then Courtney, it would have been a really difficult vote, and in a way, I'm quite glad I don't have to do that, because I would have felt horrific voting Courtney out just because she's such a special person to me anyway. But on a game level, she just has that power where you don't want to vote her out, which is why she does so well. So it would have been, and then it would have been me and Justin at the end, because I think I could sell a better game than Justin, but I wasn't too hot on my chances to win after Edmo went. I thought Edmo was probably the best person I could have won against, and no, then after he went, I was like, okay, I'm playing for second.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you a question now?
Yeah.
So the one thing at the end that I have been asking anyone is, so give me a power rankings. Like, of the final 5 that are left, who do you rank 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? But like in whatever version of that looks like in your head. Like,
Okay.
so if you would just give a power ranking.
Brian will be 1 for sure. 2, I would say Esteban, 3 Jordan, 4 Courtney, 5 Justin.
Cool. That just gives me an idea to think in the game too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think my brain just can't handle 2 names that start with J and end with N. I just can't. So you said, did you put Jordan at 3 or Justin at 3?
Jordan at 3.
Okay. Jordan at 3. I think if Jordan at the end, he has the underdog story. He just needs to explain a couple of decisions that apparently he's made, which have made some of the jury salty. But I think if he can explain those away, he has a good shot.
I was going to say, I think my doctor's going to recommend that I stay out of Ponderosa because they salty. It's not good for your diet. So, yeah.
I'm trying to bring the peace, Alex. I really am.
I was like, the irony of you bringing peace at the end when that was so not how you started. The irony is not lost on me. So, that being said, so in the game, is it safe to say that maybe Edmo and Courtney were the players that you were the closest to, or who were you the closest to in the game?
Edmo, Brian, and Courtney were the people I was closest to. I wanted the final 3 to be Edmo, Brian, and myself, ideally. But I didn't quite know how to get there with Courtney's idols, so I was just playing it by ear at that point. But I did not expect Edmo to go when he did. I was shocked by that. That really threw a spanner in my plans. No, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised around that Edmo went. I feel like it's safe for me to admit that. Production, am I fired? Okay, great. All right, so I'm trying to think. what were some of your favorite moments in the game, start to finish? Just moments that when you think down the road, when you really think, oh, Triumph All Stars, this moment, that moment.
Favorite moments. Winning the music video challenge was huge because I've edited about 3 or 4 videos in the past and we've always lost. So to get the highest score that Triumph ever had was a big boost considering what it followed. That was cool. Making merge and finding that the person I was most worried about had been voted out before merge was a huge highlight. Building some really, really good relationships. Actually, I built some really good friendships with Malcolm in particular, Justin. Continued building on my relationship with Courtney and with Brian, just on a friendship level with Edmo, with Jordan. It was just I've made some really good friends from this game and strengthened friendship which I had before, which is a massive takeaway I'm going to take from this game.
Love that.
I love that as well. I got all the warm fuzzies. I love it. Let's see. So as far as we've already talked about, like, I think maybe the answer will be the same, even if the question's a little bit different. Who, if you had to pick one person that you say you're rooting for to win the game, not like who you think has the best chance or has the best story, but who would you like to see?
I would love Esteban to get there because I think Esteban's also had to fight. And if Esteban can, the only way Esteban's going to get there is if he wins out. And I think that's going to be a really exciting, not predictable end to the game. And I think if Courtney, Jordan, Justin, any of those three get to the end, which I think is probably what's going to happen, that's going to be predictable. And nobody likes predictability. It's nice to be surprised. And if Esteban's at the end, I will be surprised, but I'll be very, very happy.
Nice. I love that. Let's do this. Is there anyone of the final 5 that is going to have a particularly difficult time getting your vote, or that you struggle to see yourself voting for in the finals?
Justin, love the guy, but he seems from my perspective, from the people in the jury's perspective, he seems to have just followed Courtney's lead for the majority of the game and hasn't really done anything aside from Courtney. And Courtney's got this big reputation which has kept her around for a while and kept her being spoken about, whereas Justin hasn't got that, but Justin really hasn't done anything, really. I could be surprised. I need to see what moves or what things he's done for him to get my vote. But no, it depends how they sell their game. I'm not going to count anyone out.
On the flip side of that coin, like whose game impressed you more playing with them? Like who do you respect more as an all-star than you did watching them play in a previous season type of thing?
That's a good question. Oh. None of them. No.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll go through Courtney. I knew Courtney was an insane player and had this mist about her, which made me fall in love with her. So I knew what I was getting with her. I know Brian is an incredible gamer, so strategic. I knew exactly what to expect with him. Justin just disappointed me because I hoped he'd play his own game a little bit more. But then that's my perspective. I could be completely wrong. So he's less in my expectations. Jordan was, I thought, because Jordan and I are close friends, I thought it would be less chaotic playing with him. But no, he is the most chaotic person. One of the most chaotic people I've ever played with. Just
Bye, Steve.
Love him, but he's just doesn't stop. And Esteban, I don't really think he's done much apart from the underdog story, but I don't think that's something which is showing him as a player. That's just him being unlucky. So yeah, none of them have really surprised me and made me think, oh, you're better than what I thought. From watching them play, they're exactly as I predicted or worse.
No, respect the respect, and like call it like you see it. Like I love it.
No, I love the question, Steve. Thank you for that. On a similar vein, was there anyone else throughout the entire cast that, for better or worse, whether watching them in their season of triumph or just playing in the community? Was there anyone that, for better or worse, just kind of made you go, huh, I was not expecting this from this person?
I wasn't expecting certain people to be cast, but no,
You weren't expecting who to be cast?
I wasn't expecting Jester to be cast or Cat to be cast. Really, but
I was gonna say, well, I can only speak for one of those two, but I was like, we clearly, the women were outnumbered in this game, and so were finalists, and so were POCs. So it very much was just like,
yeah, it makes sense. I just wasn't expecting. I was surprised.
that's not a dig Jester, by the way. Before anybody asks me, like, no, they're both.
No. Caught. What was I? No, I don't really know. I was surprised to see Derek go so early. Quinn was someone who played as well as I expected her to play. Zaki, I had a real strong relationship, strong call with Zaki on the tribe I was on with for like 2 days, and he surprised me about how social he was. I didn't see that from him before. And he was a pleasant surprise. Malcolm was someone who I didn't really pay much attention to in this season, but he was a real pleasant surprise and someone who I really gravitated towards and really enjoyed getting to know in the social game as well.
I was going to say, I love that. Were there any moves that you feel, oh, maybe had I not done this, maybe I could have gone further in the game? Or any moves in general that maybe you regret?
No, not really. Edmo, speaking to Edmo earlier, Edmo was saying how he wanted to flip on Courtney at 8, and with the numbers that he told me that they potentially could have had, I would have been able to throw my vote and not vote Courtney, and still Courtney would have gone. And I think that would have opened things up a bit. If they'd have made that play, I reckon the game would have opened up a lot. That's not something I would have been in control over, but I think if that plan wasn't just spoken about privately and actually came to fruition, I think that would have opened up the game, and the game would be a lot different.
Personal question: would you have told Courtney?
No, I would have told. I knew Courtney needed to. I knew Courtney needed to go. I just wouldn't have been able to do it myself.
10-4. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I wouldn't have told her though, because I knew she had 2 idols. I've known for a long time, so I knew that from 6 and 5 she was going to play them. So I knew it was either that or wait till 4 and just hope for the best. But I never got to a 4.
So you knew about both of Courtney's, and then you said Quinn's earlier, correct?
Yeah, and I'd already guessed by Courtney's implying who had the merge idol that Justin had the merge idol. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I would have told her, but I would have definitely not voted her. I would have either thrown my vote, or if they had enough to go to a tie, I would have gone to a tie. But yeah.
Lovely. Is there anything that you think, or that you would like to see more of, less of, as far as from a production standpoint, or anything that you feel production could potentially keep in mind for future seasons?
No,
I'm not the complaint department, but I guess it's the complaint department question, I guess.
No, more Alex time would be lovely. No, I think you guys have actually just outdone yourself this season in terms of twists and turns and keeping on our toes. The challenges have been brilliant. You only used a couple of ones that we've done previously, and the new ones that you had were really creative and fun. I think you guys have done awesome. I have no complaints at all. I'm really happy with how the game's gone. It's run really smoothly.
Well, thank you for saying that. We do love that, and we lightly touched on it today while we were messaging each other on Skype. I have missed my prod buddy on this season. Sam really gets and encourages my really stupid sense of humor, and that's not a dig at the rest of prod, who are very sweet and kind to tolerate my nonsense. But yeah, Sam is like
special.
Well, what?
Sam is just special.
Sam is just because we pal around and we both will just get on one, and especially if we're both drinking, we will just be stupid as hell. And
It's drinking.
sorry.
I still remember that time when I was on holiday and we were having a prod call, and I was very, very, very drunk.
To say that Sam was lit, Sam was like an entire 4th of July spectacular fireworks in Texas. He was lit. So I've definitely missed my my ride or die in production. So
You didn't make an Uncle Sam reference right there.
oh damn it!
It was right there.
Look, we are gay men in our 30s, which basically means you can't use words like uncle because then it's like what, you calling me old? That being said,
Oh, shit.
I didn't make the Uncle Sam jokes, Steve, because I knew you would make it and it would be perfect. So
There it is.
there
That's what I'm here for, the salt and pepper.
I know there's a little bit more salt in my pepper these days, and it's really
me too. That's why I wear the hat and pull it down real.
Right? I'm like, isn't it great to be old? I was gonna say by the time I'm 40, I'm literally gonna be the snow beast. It's gonna be really awkward. Anyway, getting back to Sam. No, it's all gravy. Steve, that pretty much did it as far as questions that I have. Oh, actually, I take it back. I got one more, but Steve, if you have another question.
So, Sam, I guess we kind of touched on it, but what are you expecting to happen? Like, overall, what do you expect to happen next kind of thing?
I think Esteban's going to go next if he doesn't want immunity. Then I think Brian's going to go if he doesn't want immunity. Then I think it's going to be Jordan, Justin, Courtney. I think Justin and Jordan will take each other to the end, personally. So I'm expecting a final two of Justin and Jordan, and I think Jordan might win in that case. Which, if he can explain his story and explain the reasoning for saying certain things which are a bit too far, he might get just enough votes. It's going to be close if it's those two, but he might get just enough votes to win.
Nice. I was going to say, Steve looks like he's getting ready to vote someone out.
If I were voting for a winner on that one, I'd do it just like that right there. Justin and Jordan.
I feel like that's kind of amazing, and I'm going to encourage everyone. If they're the final two, I'm going to encourage everyone to do just that.
Oh, I'm actually going to do that. Do it, guys.
Like Jay, line, and that's actually Steve. I swear to God, this is why you were the strategist of our season. You were just brilliant for all the right reasons.
Chaos. That's what I'm here for.
Chaos reigns supreme. No, what was it? All I really had left, Steve, Sam, would be any final thoughts, if any bow you want to put on the experience you have now that you're out of the game.
I had a blast. It was so cool. As I said, met and reinforced some amazing friendships. Had such a good time doing the challenges were great. Prob was good fun. They were always there for us, which was great. Brandon's such a good addition, by the way. Brandon's just superb. Brandon is just such an amazing addition.
Oh, he's amazing. He's absolutely.
He was one of the multiple people on prod who were just being so supportive, especially at the start of the game when things were going crazy, as you were, Alex. But he was just so, just breathe, take a few seconds. He was like breathing with me. I was like, he's so cute. He's just so good. And then, but his enthusiasm, his passion for the game, he's just such a valuable member of prod. I hope he stays. But no, it's just been an excellent season, and I'm excited to crown a winner. I just hope it's not as predictable as I'm saying. I want to be surprised who comes home next. I don't want it to just be Esteban and then Brian, because I think that's going to be boring. But, yeah.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for being a part of this season. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to Steve and I. And most importantly, thank you for being you. You are such a light and just a blessing and such an air of positivity and class. And we are very, very lucky to have you. And thank you for being a part of the season.
You're very welcome. I had such a good time. Thank you very much for your time today as well. It's been awesome. Right.
I was going to say, and Steve, thank you so much for joining. It's always such a pleasure and such a joy to have you join. And you always ask such thought-provoking questions that I would never think of. So thank you for
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, of course. And then, Sam, I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, well, I have a tribal to go to now, so I will.
Hey, well, have an amazing tribal. I was going to say, do that which it do. And
I'll speak to you soon. Love you guys. It's been so good seeing you.
Love you guys. Bye.
bye.